This first clip's not new as in something that's breaking news, because this happens a lot.
Yeah, it's
a new clip.
What's repeated?
It's a new clip.
Yes.
So I'd like everybody to take a look here. This is a fire hose that you find, mandatory in all apartment buildings. On every floor at the end of the corridor, you're going to have one of these, right? And it gives you a little bit of peace of mind, okay? When you live in one of these high-rise apartments, you're on the 28th floor, you're like, what if a fire breaks out? And in the back of your mind, you're like, well, at least there's that fire hose down the corridor.
That's what I always think. I say, wait, well, at least there's that.
Yeah, because at least you can maybe douse yourself in water while you get engulfed in flames or whatever. But the thing is, at least it's there.
To set that up, though, how many times have you seen this in China? When you walk by that fire hose that looks exactly like that, and you go, man, I hope I never have to use that. It's covered in dust. It's never been checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to show you this. In fact, I'm just going to get us out of here so you can see it clearly. Let's take a look at this fire hose. Yeah.
That's about par for the course, isn't it?
That's what we call chabuduo.
Yes. Chabuduo means
good enough.
It's off, not a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Off by not much.
Good enough.
Yeah. It's actually not chabuduo. That's like chahenduo.
Yeah, it is. But it's like work. The fire safety guy said we had to have a fire hose on every level. Well, we have a fire hose. It's not hooked up to anything, but it's there.
Yeah.
Well,
so what's really cool about China is they get things done.
Sure.
They might be a dictatorship, but they just get things done real fast. And they actually do what they say. Not that the bureaucrats in America that just waste everyone's tax money and time.
Yeah.
Those Chinese, they get those things done.
Yeah, they just put those fire hoses up. They don't hook it up to anything. But hey, it's done, right?
Chinese government, very ineffective, if you're not catching my sarcasm.
Yeah, and they basically, you wonder how they get away with it. It's pretty simple. The inspectors are bribed. So that's why those things can exist and stay there for years, not hooked up.
Yeah.
So again, I'd like to raise awareness for everyone out there. Bot farms and phone farms in China are very common. I've seen some with my own eyes in Shenzhen. They're very out in the open sometimes. They don't really seem to care. Yeah. Now, when people pay for clicks and likes and engagement...
Yes. Sorry, it was Don Corneo from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, go
ahead. So when people pay for engagement, you sometimes wonder how, an influencer who sucks has millions of followers and lots of engagement. It's because you can pay people in China who run these very sophisticated phone farms. And if you look what's going on here is they've got a computer that controls them all. And they all have individual accounts on them, right? So each one will have its own Weibo account or Facebook account or, Google account or whatever, Instagram account. And what they do is they're running simultaneously all these different influencer apps, the social media apps, and they scroll through and giving likes and engagement and stuff like that. So it artificially creates this idea that you have a successful social media account. And so that's why you get Chinese state media, for instance, who has a Facebook page. It's got 7 million followers, but only 2 likes on whatever they share.
So yeah, I'd like to add on to this. So Winston is talking about when you're paying this basic group of people to look like there's engagement on something. And usually that's surrounding something where someone's trying to sell something or grow their account. But in our case, what we see it mostly used in is, like you said, in state media. And they'll use this to send comments across material or videos they don't like.
Yeah.
Right? So they go target this one and they'll send 1 billion comments. To be like, this is wrong. He is liar.
That type of thing.
This is the stuff we deal with all the time. Yeah. There's also these accounts, which for some reason have not been dealt with by these big platforms. They'll have 1 or 2 million followers, but then each post they put up gets or a comment from a random person in the other side of the world that's not actually watching this, right? So it's it's pretty transparent and obvious how this works, but for some reason, I don't know why these platforms don't go all in and getting rid of these inorganic followers and stuff.
There's another side to this that people don't realize is the amount of environmental damage this does. I know this sounds weird and off the wall, but when you run servers and you have to cater to traffic, you have these big server farms, right? And they have to be powered. They use electricity. They use air conditioning to keep the servers cool. They use a lot of power. And a lot of the bandwidth and power is going to these vacant rubbish bot accounts. Yeah. So, instead of proper organic stuff where you could save on energy and all that, if it was just being used as it's designed to be used, now you have to boost your bandwidth and boost your processing power and stuff to deal with these literally millions of false clicks and comments and engagement, So This is bad for the environment too.
Yeah, so Boss says, all that power consumption for fake likes, and I get a paper straw in my Capri Sun to save the planet.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Again, China, as we know, and if you don't know, you should know, is the biggest contributor to world pollution at the moment. Out of all countries in the world, in fact, they emit more CO2 and so on than all developed countries combined. They burn more coal.
That's not an opinion.
That's the truth. They outfish the seas. They do all this like really bad stuff for the environment. And they get away with it. This is just another one of the environmental sins we can pin on China here. Anyway, and the people who pay for this stuff.
I want you guys in the comment section / in the chat as well.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, because you might not be watching this live. If
Sure.
you are, you can put it in chat. Tell me what you think is wrong with this. We're not going to explain it to you. Play it.
Okay, we're just going to play it and then see
what
if
do you
people
think
pick
is
up
wrong here.
Okay.
Not him falling down. What's wrong here? Maybe just pause it. Yeah. What's wrong?
Yeah, and then we'll look at the comments later.
Recently, there's been a lot of flooding.
Oh,
in China.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's absolutely insane. Some of the aftermath and some of the places that have been cleared up. Looks like a city was moved.
I don't want to show too much of it here on the show because it starts to blend together and you just think like, oh, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But if you see the amount of devastation and how high those floodwaters have gone up, it's insane. It's just incredible. Yeah, and there's a lot of damage and a lot of death and a lot of, loss, but you don't really hear about it, do you? Because it's not the kind of thing China wants people to know about.
Doug and Battle Bard and Abu Kumar, everyone's right. It's the wrong leg.
It's the wrong leg.
He's jumping on the broken foot. What are you doing?
Maybe it wasn't broken in the first place. Why's he got crutches if he's going to be hopping on one foot?
So in wrestling terms, right, in WWE, they'll fake an injury to get someone off TV. Be like, oh, he hurt his leg or whatever, and then they'll see him walking around or whatever in real life. That's what happened. Maybe he's just a pro wrestler.
What a wonderful song. How come I've never heard it before?
Edit, dude.
So bad.
We cannot laugh at this.
I can because
It's
they made like a cartoon speech bubble. One
very
dude
nice
came up to teach kindergarten when I was teaching at that kindergarten. He had cocaine on his nose. I had like Russian prostitutes in my class.
I've never met a sex pet that's like good to be around.
We snowboarded down Mount Everest or something. This guy's like a grown man. It's like he's in his 20s telling me that he and his friend died on the way down and stuff. And I'm like, really?
When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind